In this video brought to you by PackHelp, I'm going to be showing you how you can get that handcrafted feeling back into your designs once you vectorize them. So I've got a document full of logos that I've worked on in the past, and you can see some of them have this handcrafted feeling, like this one, the Happy Few. Now this didn't always look rustic and handcrafted, and sometimes we need to have them look like that to give that age feeling, to also make it look a little less clean and perfect. It gives more characteristic to the design. And someone who does hand lettering and has done a lot of logo type design, I love that handcrafted feeling. But how do we get it back once we've vectorized our work? Well, I'm going to take my logo here, I'm just going to copy it, and we're going to go to a new document. Now the first thing I like to do is roughen it. Now this is a really simple method of doing it. We go to Effect, down to Distort and Transform, and then we go to Roughen. You'll see that it goes a bit crazy like that, and we have this dialog box come up. Well, all we need to do is press Absolute, which will give the absolute value, not a relative value, then Smooth, and we play around, depending on the size of the object, we just play around with this. We don't want it a little bit rough, we don't want it too rough all the way through. I'm going to go for 5 and 1. Press OK. Now you see when I press OK, it looks good, but what we need to do is actually expand it, because that effect is still in place. So we go to Object, Expand, and you'll see a bunch of anchor points have just been made. Now in Illustrator, this can have a few problems. It can slow down your computer. The more anchor points, the more information, and most of this information inside of this design is unnecessary. You can see how many there are. Luckily, Illustrator has a feature to get rid of these anchor points and also to help our effect. Select the shape, right click, and we're going to go to Simplify. And you'll see here we can keep going and simplify this all the way down. We want to get it to a point of where it gets rid of most of those unnecessary anchor points but doesn't affect the main design all too much. We can go to Auto Simplify, and I think I like that. That's gotten rid of most of those anchor points but still giving us that handcrafted feeling. Now the next step is to duplicate this, and we're going to repeat this process again but in a different way. Firstly, highlight the duplicated version, go to Object, Rasterize, and what this will do is this will basically screen cap it, make it into a rasterized image. So make sure it's that 300 ppi RGB, press OK, and you see here that it's just turned into an image. That means we need to image trace it back in, which will turn it into a vector art. So highlight this, and up here you'll see this image trace option there. Hit that image trace option and you'll notice nothing's changed. But it has, it's now vector again. It's just done all the information, it's traced it all back in. Next to it, we've got this little box. Click that, and that gives us this image trace dialog box. We need this. We're going to go to the preset of a black and white logo, and we're going to bring the threshold all the way down. And depending on the size of this, it might lag a little bit in Illustrator because it is rendering it out all the way through. We're going to bring the path down to low. This is how many paths there are on the actual image trace. Corners, I'm going to bring that all the way to the bottom. I don't like corners. And we're going to bring out noise, bring down threshold just a little bit more. Then the most important option is to press this, Ignore White. If you don't have Ignore White on, it will keep the white in the background as a vector white. But if we press Ignore White, it will get rid of that automatically for you. Then all we need to do is press Expand, and now you have your shape there and it looks rough and ready. Here's like a before and after. Here's the clean, here's the rough. There's a lot more character to the rough. But that's not all we need to do. We actually need to go into Photoshop and make it more vintage, make it more handcrafted through a set of effects. But before I do that, I just want to thank the sponsor of this video, PackHelp. PackHelp is a customizable packaging marketplace. There's something for all designers of all abilities. You can use their die-line templates like this if you're a designer, or use the online editor if you're not a designer pro, or even order pre-made products too. In fact, we created this awesome box using Adobe Illustrator, using the guides taken from the website. Something designers can sometimes be worried about when going to print our die lines. We downloaded the PDF template straight from the website, which showed us exactly where the cuts and folds would be made when designing the artwork. They also have an affiliate program where you can create an account and earn up to 65 euros commission each time someone makes an order through your link. Mine is down below. Plus, PackHelp teamed up with One Tree Planted to make our planet even greener. Based on your order quantity, they calculate the number of trees you can plant, and it's always more than you use. Go check them out in the link below to see what you can design for your brand. It's also great for your clients too. Okay, back to the video. A really good way of creating a cool textured effect of your logo on an object with a cool amount of texture on it is to take it from Illustrator like this. We're going to copy it, paste it as a shape layer. I'm going to change the color to like nearly white. Scale this up. Now this doesn't look very good inside of Photoshop right now. What we want to do is get this to sort of merge with the background, and there's a really easy way of doing it. I'm going to go and right click on this and go to blending options. This will bring up this dialog box here. Now on blending options, we have blend if. This is a really crazy, powerful tool that I use all the time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold Option or Alt, and you see this little thing here? This is the arrow that you use. Now, if I just use this arrow, it kind of looks okay, but not very good. Well, these arrows can be split. You do that by holding Option or Alt and clicking, and you can see we get a much nicer feather right there. But before we do that, what we need to do is add more realism. The way that we do that with vector work is to make it less sharp. You see here, it's very sharp, all the edges are very defined. So what I like to do is go ahead and right click on the logo, convert it to a smart object, go up to filter, down to blur, and Gaussian blur. We're going to add number 1 as a Gaussian blur. We're going to zoom in and you can see it's less sharp, and that's the most important thing when trying to create this to look real. Then we can go back to blending options, and I'm going to use Option and move the underlying layer one. So this means that anything on the underlying layer with this color or this gray is going to appear through. We can do it for white if it's the opposite way, if the background was like a lighter color. We can see here how it works, and you can see what we get. We get this amazingly realistic textured logo like so. This effect can be used in so many different ways with your design work, and honestly I normally just use this effect here to roughen up some of the logos that I've created in the past. It's really important when we're creating logo types, especially vintage ones that need to have that organic look, to be created cleanly first so we have a lot more control after. By that I mean, if I take this Raspadilla that you guys have seen a lot on the channel lately, you can see that I need to keep this all nice and simple with the line work and all the handles so I can edit certain parts. Trying to edit this logo first would be a nightmare because of all these different points. But if I went to the original one and I wanted to edit something, we've got all the points that we need to quickly go ahead and edit anything. So this method really gives you the ultimate control of your design work. If you're new to this channel, thanks for watching. We upload twice a week, and the goal of the channel is to make you a better designer, to give you that creative juice every week. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. See you soon. Goodbye.